Hi, viewers, and welcome back to The Huddle. Today we're with BetMGM CEO Adam Greenblatt. How are you today, Adam?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
Of course, very good. Happy to be here with you at the G2E show in Las Vegas. And as the conference celebrates its 25th anniversary, what are some fond memories of the show, or perhaps how does it always help BetMGM forge new collaboration?
Yes. So there are a number of levels on which we draw benefit from the conference. Now, clearly, we've got folks that are in the product area of our business that spend more time on the floor and talking to potential new suppliers, smaller businesses, innovators. That's always exciting to see as we consider the feedback when we get home. I spend my time mostly with other CEOs, drawing feedback from the banker and investor community, and of course seeing others from around the world seeking to draw best practice. So that it's like supercharged speed dating. It's but a lot more fun. Obviously, we're in Vegas and all the events around it. So I really appreciate and enjoy being here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's only my second show, but I'm definitely gaining an understanding for just how massive and how popular it is, especially here in Las Vegas. And I understand that BetMGM unveiled new app features prior to the NFL season. I was just wondering if you could share how that enhanced your offering to consumers, before such a massive sport such as the NFL.
Absolutely. Look, as is the case every year, summer is an incredibly busy time for us as we prepare, both operationally but also from a product experience perspective, for the launch of the season, for where activity levels rise dramatically, and it's also a high concentration acquisition event and a reactivation event for our players. So it's a really important time. So it's in that context that we're delighted that our product is, both on the sports side and on the iGaming side, the best it's ever been by some margin. We've ahead of the NFL season, we've introduced live same-game parlays, the ability to our players to enjoy the same parlay building experience, both pre-live and live, and of course the ability to cash out all the way through the game. We have a sleek new dark mode launched, new, more efficient ways of navigating, more efficient ways of making bets, making alternative lines. The list goes on and on. On the iGaming side, we're introducing new and exclusive games, as is always the case at BetMGM. We're building out our very successful approach to owned IP. We've got IP from Fremantle, The Price is Right, Family Feud. The Wizard of Oz series continues to grow. It's one of our best performing slots titles. So a lot of new and exciting content in the world of gaming as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We were actually able to check out the MGM studio where they do some of the live streaming and
Impressive,
everything.
no?
Exactly. It definitely was. It's so interesting because they're, if you step too far, you're on camera or something. But
I couldn't help myself. As I opened the door, I stuck my head in and I smiled to the global community of players.
I was just imagining like you're in deep on a poker hand and then someone's head just comes in and says hi. Waves your hand.
Surprisingly quiet in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is just the dealers kind of doing their work and everything.
Absolutely.
But obviously, you've also chosen to implement minimum wager amounts in Illinois due to the new fees that lawmakers chose to implement. What was kind of the motivation for that, whether seeing other operators take steps or, have you received any pushback from consumers in the state?
So look, we looked at the distribution of the bets we take as fact basing to understand both the options and potential impact of the choice that we had, our next move, and we felt that our customer focus in sports, as we've talked about following the second quarter results, is more of a premium player. And so what we wanted to do was both treat our players right and serve the players who are most at home at BetMGM. And those are players who are, many of them are $10 plus players, right? And so we felt that it would be more player friendly to absorb the tax rather than pass it on to our players. But of course, with that, set the minimum bet size to a threshold at a level where we weren't underwater on every bet, certainly. You understand?
Yes.
And it's been good for us. It's been good for us. Our players have appreciated it. Performance in the state of Illinois has continued on without disruption. So we're pleased with the decision we've made. But as with anything, every day presents a whole new set of challenges, and you got to make the best decision for the day. So who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, and obviously BetMGM also continues to expand into Ontario and bring its portfolio there. So I was kind of hoping you could recap the efforts made and the future of the Ontario, whether iGaming or sports betting business that you foresee.
So Ontario, we just to ground ourselves, we are the market leaders in Ontario across the aggregate of iGaming and sports. We are definitively the leader in iGaming, and I think we're second or third in sports. But in aggregate, given the importance and size of the iGaming portion, the weight in the basket means that we're the number one operator, we believe. So that's awesome. From a standing start. And I think it also speaks of the creativity with which we've gone to market, number one, but critically important. And this goes to how we're thinking about the likely potential of Alberta. The MGM brand really means something. It really resonates, and all of the positive qualities that are associated with being the MGM brand is felt and experienced and rewarded, and players in Ontario have responded in that vein. So delighted with our position in Ontario. We continue to push very hard. The market is very deep, notwithstanding the reality that sports betting and iGaming has been prevalent in that market for many years, albeit in a grey manifestation prior to regulation. As we look to 2026, we've got Alberta coming down the track. It'll be our first iGaming jurisdiction for about 3 years. And we're looking to build on the strength that we have in Ontario as we look into that the Alberta market. And what we're excited about is even though the population discrepancy, if you just prorated market size for population, you get to an answer. We believe that the performance in Alberta will over-index, will do even better than its person for person adult population.
Of course, and as new gaming types in sports betting, whether it's events, contracts, prediction markets, as they kind of become more prevalent, how do you see BetMGM evolving to possibly integrate those offerings, or come up with its own innovation that kind of relates to it?
Yes. I want to be clear right now. I'll say more about this in our Q3 results next week. But our regulators are being really clear with us that prediction markets in the world of sports are not acceptable and represent illegal sports betting. And so until that position changes, we're not going to be integrating, sports prediction markets into our product. Should that position change, of course, then that's a different conversation. We do see there is potential product expansion, an opportunity to give our players something else that they enjoy as part of their experience basket. But certainly right now, that's not on the cards for BetMGM. We want to stand beside our regulators who have been very clear in what they're expecting.
No, understood. I appreciate you speaking on that. Just to kind of recap, I understand also BetMGM introduced new ambassadors such as Derek Jeter, I believe John Hamm as well.
John Hamm.
So kind of like, how do those collaborations help not only build your consumer base, but retain them? They obviously know Derek Jeter, they know John Hamm. So how do you keep players coming back with those figures?
It's a combination. So this is the John Hamm campaign is the first really big brand relaunch that we've undertaken really since Jamie. Mm-hmm. And so why John? John, we researched the hell out of this, by the way, right? And John is loved by our target market, both men and women. And the character traits that he represents, he's cool, he's suave, he's sophisticated, he's a grown-up.
Right. He's Don Draper.
He's Don Draper. Really resonated with our brand and with our players. So he was the perfect fit. And so we're delighted. It heralds a new era where we're clear about where we have the right to win as a brand, who our players in sports are, and it's just a really exciting new fit. Yeah.
That's amazing to hear, and thank you so much for joining us today, Adam. I really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me, of course.